You know that feeling, right? That little ache in your joints that seems to show up just as the weather is about to turn? That stiffness in your knees, or maybe your hands on a cold, rainy day? Well, if that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Because today, we're gonna dig into why that happens. So, here's the big question. Can your body really act as your own personal weather station? It kind of sounds like an old wives' tale, doesn't it? But as we're about to find out, there's a really fascinating, real connection between the aches you feel and the atmosphere all around you. And let's just get this out of the way right now. You are not imagining it. Not at all. That feeling is very real, it's super common, and right now, we're gonna gently unpack the simple science behind it. So, let's dive into how this all works. We're gonna look at the key things that link the weather to what you're feeling in your body. And we're gonna start with the most powerful, yet completely invisible force that's at play here. Okay, so the biggest player in this whole story is something called barometric pressure. It's this invisible force, pushing on us all the time, and it has a surprisingly huge effect on our bodies. So what is it really? Well, to put it simply, barometric pressure is just the weight of the air, the atmosphere, pressing down on everything. And that includes you. And when the weather changes, this pressure changes right along with it. Here's how it all comes together. On a clear, sunny day, the atmospheric pressure is high. It's gently pushing on our bodies, kind of keeping all our tissues in check. But when a storm is rolling in, that pressure drops. And with less of that outside force pushing on your body, the tissues around your joints can actually expand, just a tiny bit. And that tiny bit of swelling, that's all it takes to irritate the nerves and cause that familiar ache. This really explains that common experience perfectly, doesn't it? When someone says they can feel the rain coming in their bones, what they're almost certainly feeling is that subtle drop in barometric pressure that happens right before a storm rolls in. But air pressure isn't the whole story. Let's move on to the things we can actually feel, like the temperature and the humidity, and see how they add another layer to this whole thing. So when the temperature drops, your muscles and tendons, they naturally contract and tighten up. Just think of it like a rubber band that gets way less stretchy when it's cold. This drop in flexibility means your body has to work a little harder just to move, and that can make any underlying joint issues feel a whole lot more noticeable. And your body also has this amazing survival mechanism. When it gets cold, its number one priority is keeping your vital organs, your heart, your lungs, warm. And to do that, it actually reduces blood flow to your extremities, your hands, your feet, your joints. So less warm blood in those areas can lead to that stiff, achy feeling, especially right when you wake up. And it's not just the cold either. That dampness in the air, the humidity, that plays a big role too. Think about that heavy, moist air on a foggy morning. For a lot of people, especially those with arthritis, that dampness just seems to crank up the volume on feelings of stiffness and swelling. Okay, now let's talk about something that makes this whole experience even more personal, the echoes of old injuries. If you've ever had a bad sprain or a break, you might notice that one spot is particularly sensitive to the weather. Come on, we've all heard someone say this, right? Or maybe we've even said it ourselves. That old knee injury from high school or that ankle you twisted years ago, all of a sudden it becomes your own personal weather forecaster. And the science behind this is just fascinating. See, even years after an injury seems to be totally healed, the nerves and the scar tissue in that area can stay extra sensitive. They basically become finely tuned to react to those tiny shifts in pressure and temperature, sending these little pain signals to your brain that the rest of your body just doesn't even notice. So now that we get the why, let's talk about the what now. And the good news is there are some really simple, gentle ways to manage this discomfort and just feel better no matter what the weather report says. All right, so what can we actually do? Here's a simple little toolkit. First, just keep warm. Simple layers, warm socks, gloves, it makes a difference. Second, embrace gentle movement. Even a short, slow walk is fantastic for getting that blood flowing. Third, stay hydrated. Water really helps keep all those joint tissues happy. Fourth, use some direct warmth. A nice warm shower or a heating pad can do wonders to relax tight muscles. And finally, and this might be the most important one, just try to be consistent. A simple daily routine can make all the difference in helping your body adapt. In the end, just knowing why you feel a certain way can be so empowering. It really shifts things away from mystery and frustration and more toward understanding and taking action.
It's not just in your head, it's real science in your body and in the world around you.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you feel that little ache as the clouds start rolling in, just pause for a second and listen. What signals is your body sending you? And what's one simple thing you can do to offer it just a little more comfort? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.